Good morning. We'll give it a moment so that the network can settle. There we go. How's everyone today? Monday. Happy Monday. All right. So, today, hmm. There we go. Oh, good morning. We keep going on the testing today. Actually, I need to go to the server code. I was playing with my Raspberry Pis yesterday. I had like 2 version 1 Raspberry Pis. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I think I should use them for something. Where are we? Oh, we're already there. There we go. So on the left, we have our integration tests, cargo, Argo, yeah. Good. All right. Okay, I left that to break on purpose, which is good. Resize that panel there. Let's do 90 today. There we go. There. So we have that there. So in this case, we should probably create the account and then log in. I don't remember if the game server requires that you create and then log in. Hmm. Hmm. Let's look for where we're initializing the logs. We don't do that very often, do we? Oh goodness. It is still starting up. Rust Analyzer seems to be taking a while. All right, well, while it's figuring out what it's going to be doing, I don't know that we actually want our logging on every time for this. All right. That should get us back to where we were. Now with less logging. So in this case, what was I trying to test? Now that we got all the database stuff automatically getting created and dropped and whatnot, actually, let me check. Post to go, make sure we don't have extra databases lingering. Nope, they're all gone. good. Yeah, that's good. What we're trying to do is a shutdown here. We send shutdown to it. But I think my intention here was to actually be able to log in. Well, let's do a create account instead of a login. Okay. Scallywag, good morning. Let's call back username and password. Okay. Actually, that's the same format. Working on I'm not actually working on a custom TCP protocol. The wire format is kind of figured out at the moment. What I'm doing at the moment is working on integration tests for the server. So how does basically, I just want to make sure that I have some sort of safety net for making changes so that regressions can be found early and often. As a party of one here, I'm not going to have the time to like a huge regression tests and whatnot. So for things that I can test, I want to have tests with at least like kind of the common paths. So, and what I've been able to set up is kind of a neat system where all the incoming TCP stuff that gets funneled into MPSC queues from Tokyo, so MPSC senders and receivers, and that goes into the game server. The game server uses a database, right? Which is Postgres. I always say it with a Z sound. So the piece that I'm able to unit test is basically I generate these. Just let's see, let's mark this with exclamation from here, basically to here, because the database portion we just abstracted away so that when we run a test, it does the migration for an entire database. It sets up a whole new database just for this integration test, and it drops it when it's done. The only piece that we're not testing in our integration tests, the TCP portion. Well, that's kind of its own crate, and it's tested all on its own, so I'm okay with that. But it makes a really nice and easy way to be able to test these. Yeah, from there to there, just about everything's getting tested through this. No sort of edge cases creeping in or anything weird like that. Yeah, it took a little bit to set up though, but I think it's gonna work out really well. So in our testing setup, got this little test DB thing here. I don't. It's just the entire server is getting created. Entire server for every integration test. I mean, it might be a little heavy, but at least it tests everything. So when we create a testDB object, it is basically pulling out of the environment what URL you want. It parses that, creates a new database for it, runs the migrations, and then returns a database object that the server can use. And then when this object itself drops, it tears the database down. Yeah, the default state. Yep, exactly. I really like that. I think it's a neat pattern that kind of came out of it. I'd like to be able to like make that available, but it's so tied to the rest of the game server. There might be some way. That'd be something that'd be pretty useful. All right, so quick fix that. Create account isn't used. I'm gonna get rid of that for a moment. Say our incoming message is now create account. Oh, we don't have an into on this. What did login have that this doesn't have? Create account. Oh, does it not have from bytes? What does? From packet? Yeah, we need one of those, I think. Yep. Zenacron, good morning. Create account. Now, how big is this packet? Oh, there's no way of knowing because it's fairly variable. Let's just come up with some decent. This will only ever be used for tests anyways. Oh, last time you got pulled into a meeting last time you were into the stream. Oh, I see. One step further, in each test, can specify database import to use. Oh, weird database states, yeah. Yeah, I think having each one with its own kind of instance of the database, it'd be fine to like run SQL after you have the migrated database to put it into that bad state. So it could, I think there's a way to do the same thing, but that's a good idea. Let's just say 128 or whatever. Actually, it doesn't matter. This will only ever be used for tests. Oh, some of the states you're talking about, like 100 queries. I wonder if I should change these tests here. think there's something missing here though. Where'd it go? Ah, yes, that's create account. Good. Account exists and incoming packets. Lovely. Okay, there it's going, running all the migration tests. Nomad, morning. All right. I'll take a peek at login. I think login had more interesting tests. No, it didn't. Oh well. Uh-oh, create character linked add. Look at that. Should be in here. Incoming message, character stream, outgoing packet. We use TypeScript. You know, I wish I was using TypeScript to work. Probably fix a whole slew of bugs that we have. We're just using ES Next Babel because we don't trust ourselves to write regular code. And just pull in the kitchen sink with React. It's not bad though. This, why? Yeah. I wonder if I do that, if the database bits still get cleaned up. Like interrupting the test as it's running. Should, but it doesn't. Oh, bummer. All right, so that part of my workflow is gonna have to change a little bit. Oh. You know, it's actually, I'm starting to use like crate and like Rust terms when talking to people about JavaScript. Yeah, but if you have to write JavaScript, you might as well be in TypeScript. At least it's got a compiler that can help you. The ECMAScript linters are okay, but they don't have the same sort of constraints. All right, so why isn't this coming back? When we send this packet here, create account, is that not wired up yet? This should be wired up. Well, let's go check. Server lib, run auth. That's gonna go in through auth, isn't it? Thought I got that wired up. So yeah, these are our filters. If it's just a regular message at the end, we come in here, process it. No, don't rename. Create account is here. Huh. So if it's a valid username, oh, 4.2 is shipped. Oh, that's right. Definitely better two type system than no type system at all. Yeah, it is. Oh, you get baited by badly written types. I have like any in them. I think I'm running 1.4.2, so I should be able to do this, right? Iterator's not implemented for that. Oh. Okay. Alright, not going to change those at the moment. I just want to see it working. So at this point, outgoing send, everything's a success. Guess it's possible that we should be getting some sort of error message. Huh. I don't think we're getting past this point here. Which is surprising considering with the login packet we've been getting further. Set that up to true. Ah, it's not valid. Does it actually send? Yes, okay, so the username isn't correct. Oh, not that create account. If we go to auth create account. Oh, interesting. So we ended up hitting this, but didn't get a packet back. Oh, well, that's a bug. Let's toss one of those in there. Let's see, and in this case, the callback, create account callback. Let's see, we should probably have some better sort of error number. You know what, the client's supposed to be validating this before we send it. I'm okay with internal error, keep it vague. Oh, there we go. What I find interesting here is that we dropped him before he existed. Let's not drop him there. So wait the response. Okay, we should do some asserting there. Now at this point, we need to be looking and validating this here. The packet 925, subject none, data. See, it's a 2-element array. It says O3 is O2. I think this is what status callback serializes to. Actually, oh, look at that. Like cute little macros. Seems like we have a lot of web devs here in the Rust channel. What's our, do we have good type info on that? We do have packet. Find subject data. Okay. Now in here on the right, they're saying that the kind is 25, but let's validate that. Oh, we can use the enumeration, of course. Callback failure, interesting. That fits. I think I'd rather use callback status, but I don't want to change the client at the moment. Yeah. I think a bit of it is just that, well, I just think there's like a lot of web developers. So the chances of there being web developers that kind of cross over to Rust is rather high. Well, it's very likely that you would find them because there's so many web developers. Callback failure. Okay, what else are we going to test on there? You know what? We can just assert that message.subject is none. And we need the kind, though, the actual data. Oh, interesting. So there's no standard implementation for doing web requests? I mean, like XHR request? It's funny because I think every time I'd ever used TypeScript with a project that had a web request, it was always wrapped up. It deserves to be forgotten. Oh my goodness. Does IE11 support fetch? Sorry, IE11 still exists in my world. We do like corporate stuff. We sell to like Fortune 500 companies and whatnot. And their IT group still wants everybody using like IE11. It makes me cry, but it's there, and it'll be IE11 will be gone in 5 years. Edge 14. Yeah. Let's see. The data needs to be deserialized. Let's see, failure. Let's give it a type. Callback failure. This is actually a thing? No, this is a status callback. Message.data.into. Can I do that? Yes. What does callback status have on it? Let's check that out. Just the callback and the status error number. Okay. Was it 3? Yeah, callback is 3. Status is some other enum. Error no. Internal error, something like that. Oh, no quick fix for outgoing packet. IE9. Microsoft doesn't even support IE9. I actually got out of supporting IE10 via the argument that we're helping them to stay vulnerable to security issues. Microsoft's not even supporting IE9 anymore. My goodness. Yes, I've I've converted between a Webpack 2 to a Webpack 3 config file, and that was miserable. They had no documentation on that. It was much better from 3 to 4, but I go out of my way to avoid doing kind of build work for any JavaScript project, which means at work, I'm usually the one that does it, but I wait like a year between changes. Just because everything usually breaks. Going packet. Ah, there it is in messages. Outgoing packet, packet kind, packet, login, create account. Was outgoing packet not the root? Where is outgoing packet? Okay, somebody's creating, well, it's just a packet. Outgoing packets on stream multiplexer. Outgoing packet kind is ours. Quick fix that, quick fix, no quick fix for error number. Okay. Status callback from bytes is not supported. Serialize for it. We not have deserialize. And we don't have the bytes for it. Alright, let's go look at login again. Login has everything. Okay, what are we missing here? Serialize for... Okay, deserialize. Oops, too far. Status callback. Zero. shall be callback, which is type callback and 1. There we go. Oh, we need to toss deserialize REPR on that. Let's guess. Deserialize? Oh, come on. Ogren, good morning. Oh, this is kind of like a little bit more like a web dev sort of, I don't know, it's like one of those meetings that you go to. Hi, my name is Ben. I'm a web dev by day. Web devs anonymous, yeah. It's a support group. The support group. Oh, don't record. There we go. On WA, enter. No, what is this? Command line. Close that. Just wanted to make sure I had all my buffers saved. Oh, default is not satisfied for status callback. Okay. It doesn't know what error number should be. Of course. Huh. Don't they have another crate? There's a crate somewhere for doing default on enums. Museum talks about it occasionally. Or mentions it, rather. Let's go to the browser. Enum dispatch kind. Derive enum. Better defaults macro. Let's just implement default. It'll take us longer to find something. Let's not put it on the enum though. Let's put it on this. See, we'll Rust Analyzer. Yay, did it. Callback 0, status. Let's just toss that in there now. Doesn't want to format this one at 1, 2, 3. I need one more. Non-exhaustive pattern. I think it's funny. The whole Web Devs Anonymous thing. Like, just thinking about it. If there was, like, just some sort of, like, web dev support group channel on Twitch, I think it'd be really popular. Like the other day, I ended up, we needed a third possibility for a value coming back from a function. It was true or false, just normally. What do you do for the third value? So I discovered there was a third state possible. So what do? We returned NaN for the third state because we didn't want to break all the existing code. It was awful. Oh, no quick fix for that. Why not? Okay. Now data should be able to convert into that. Oh, did we actually finish with that conversion in? We got the error number stuff in there. Status callback. I think we got the byte conversion. We need the bytes. We have it from packet. Interesting. Status callback. Oh, that all compiled. Let's clean the headers up there. Bytes should be with bytes. Okay, good, good, good. One more space there. That's pretty good. For a linked tests, we're still unhappy. I want to see a better error here. From bytes not implemented for status callback. Status callback. From, oh, I did try from bytes. Okay, yeah, that's right, because it might actually fail. If I can't do into there, I could probably do try into. Does that even exist? Let's just invert that. Remove this from the left. Toss a question mark on there, or unwrap. All right, so now we have to put try from into scope. The standard convert try from? Yes. And then error number. Sure. Is that in messages? It's either there or game types. That's in game types. Okay. So server cargo doesn't have game types for a dependency. Oh, fancy. Take one of those, toss it down here. Sort it. There we go. I'm okay with the warning. We're going to use login in just a minute. Oh. Into U8, maybe. Turbofish. Okay, let's take kind. That's a U8. So why can't it figure that out? Cannot infer type or type T declared on the trait. And type T for the trait. Yeah, there. Oh, that's from for U8. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. We want to be able to go from the outgoing packet kind into a U8. That's a code for it. Surprised that into didn't work there. I mean, can we do U8 colon from? I don't like that. Cannot move out of message data, which is behind a shared reference. Scallywag, it handles colors better. Has 32-bit color support, which is nice. When you just need that little bit extra, if you want to do a gradient for a bar down here or something, there are some themes that look really, really nice in 32-bit color support. It also doesn't freeze with plugins like Vim does. So I do find that my cursor is locked a lot less than with regular Vim. I think I'm on the 050 nightly build currently. Might be a week or two old though. And it has not crashed in a long time. And the COC stuff, Conqueror of Completion in here has just been wonderful. I even switched to using it for my day job stuff. And I wasn't expecting much, but the TypeScript language server works on JavaScript really well. So being able to jump to type definitions, things like that, still works. All right, so what's going on here? Message data is borrowed. Yes, message here is borrowed. But does try from actually consume that? Value T. Oh, interesting. Let's clone it. All right, so that should be the first test there. Got those set up. If create account, let's do login next. Actually, does create account put you in the server, or does it just create the account and then expect you to use your login? I forget. So in here, if we go through and create an account, init connection. No, you're just in. You're in. Okay. So that's the one that's bad. This one. Let's change that back to create account. And we should be good. Here, we should be able to do something similar. Actually, isn't create account going to put us into the next channel change? It should channel change us. Yeah, it does. So it initializes the connection, does the channel change. Interesting. I would expect also that when we fail this check here, that that the connection is told to get dropped. So who calls this? /gr for get references. There's only one. It took me right to it. Okay, we return our errors here. And /gr. Me right to it. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, that didn't tell us to drop the connection. I wonder if we should do that here or somewhere else. I don't think all errors could cause a connection to get dropped though. But should all auth errors cause a connection to get dropped? Probably. All right. Because the other places this is going to happen, for create account, for login, if something goes poorly during login and this returns an error, fine. If it's not an auth packet, got it. So in any of those cases, I could absolutely see just sending the drop command for that. Let's do that. Going tx.send. We'll just call it message. What is our message ID here? Let's see, it's stream ID, it's connection ID, what is it? Stream ID. There we go. Yesterday I did some more jump roping. Oh man, that thing just, it's brutal. Really got the lungs going though. I think they're happier today. Did that actually pass the test? That's a lie. There we go. Now it's saved. Because the stream, the outgoing stream, should also, other than this callback failure, then tell us. Let's see. Let's see. Get the callback status error. Okay. We're going to create with validated. The problem here, I think, is that we didn't get the data out of the outgoing queue. So we should be checking for a shutdown message as well. So let's see, what is it? It's not that. I should just look at the packet. Packet dot. Yeah, that's not what I want either. Because outgoing, if we look at the type on this, let's see, it should be an outgoing packet with a packet inside of it. Okay. This is what we want. So this, really an outgoing packet. What if there's like an is such and such I should put on it just for easy tests? I don't have to do the matches stuff. Oh, they added matches, didn't they? Oh, Rust language blog. Yes, these are awesome. Subslice patterns. Very, very cool. Actually makes it feel a lot more like Erlang for me. The matches. accepts an expression in a pattern and returns true if the pattern matches expression using the matches macro. See, I think this is exactly what I want. You can also use, there's like pipe patterns and if guards. Oh, wow. So assert matches. Let's do that. Let's try out this new magic. Morning, Graph. Welcome to the stream. Pattern matching in Rust. Yeah, it ends up creating. You look at what it compiles these things down to. It's like 2 or 3 assembly codes, like instructions. Because it's testing to see if this value is within these 2 ranges. So it understands that these things here are contiguous, it's a range. So it actually does a lot for you. But in terms of like what something more complicated would compile down into, I'm not sure. And let's see, only some of the pattern matching stuff. See, this is the REST pattern, and here the Rust compiler knows about arrays. So it can tell like, oh, this is contiguous in memory, you only want the first 2. So it just generates code for giving you the first 2, or for matching against that. Yeah, I think there's, what is it, compiler explorer. I am running, oh sorry, I meant to be in the browser. But yeah, things like this, the Rust compiler will understand the array, how big it is already. In these cases, it can kind of do what looks like magical things, but it just knows what you've already told it about the array in these cases. And for here, for some of these elements, yeah, the ranges here, it understands. So it's taking advantage of the fact that like this is a range, and it can compile it down into really, really small things. But here, if you want to play around with the compiler explorer, you can do a lot of neat stuff in here and see what it compiles down into. Yeah, the compiler, I like what they've done with the compiler in that they make the compiler do all the hard work. And it means that they can continue to optimize elements and have a specific syntax in the language. I am using NeoVim with Conqueror of Completion. If you want the dot files, I have them posted on GitHub. And for anybody else that does want them, there they are. This is using a Rust Analyzer with the Conqueror of Completion plugin. Rust Analyzer also has an Emacs plugin. So I think Oro Niwa is using that setup, and it looks really good in Emacs too. I'm gonna do the assert and matches. First time I'm using this. Let's say matches, we give it a foo, and then what we expect it to be in. All right, so what is our foo? Our foo is just packet. Okay. what do we expect packet to be? This is an outgoing message. Outgoing packet. Shutdown. I guess in here it's going to be a vector of things. Can I just tell it to elide that? Will that work? You have to do C right now? Oh, I did C for 5 years professionally. It was great. I love C. Sometimes I miss C. Macro requires an expression as an argument. All right, let's say this is also a vector and the stream ID should shut down as 8. Not your first time? Yeah. Oh man. I walked into an interview and the guy that was giving me an interview was, so this is at one of those like big company name, whatever. And this guy, he comes in, he's French, and he's like their head security guy, and he hands me 2 pages of C code. Says identify the errors. Identify the security errors. There were 13 apparently. Got 11 of them. My goodness, it is. C is such a minefield. I'm so glad to be using Rust. All right, now what is this cargo test? I want to know what that macro, this means. Macro requires an expression as an argument. Expression as an argument. Is this not an expression? I guess that's technically not an expression. Hmm. And it looks like what they're doing here, assert matches. They give it kind of their actual, and then an expression on the right. Looks like, you know what? Come back to the code. I've never done Haskell or Scala, but I understand that a lot of the generics and some of the type info is very comfortable to people coming from that when learning Rust. Oh, did I give it too much? No, that's fine. Oh, are my brackets off? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it does do some neat stuff. Coming from some other languages like Erlang or Java, where I've actually written game servers in Java before, it makes the cross-threaded data handling very kind of comfortable. All right. Oh, good luck. Take care, man. Hope it all goes well. Yeah, and if you need, I'll be hanging out in the Discord channel when I'm not streaming. All right, so why doesn't it like this? Unexpected left bracket, qualified path, slice patterns. Interesting. I mean, technically, I just want to make sure it's a shutdown packet. And there it appears to be intent. Interesting. Now, what does shutdown actually take? Oh, that's in the other project. Let's look over here. Here it is. Shutdown, it's a vector of stream IDs. So we could just do that and then check that the packet stream IDs are the same. But it would be nice if we could actually validate that it is the same here. I'm guessing it's the macro and macro issue. What if I use curly braces instead? No, still not happy. What if we just have 1, 3? Oh, fine. Let's change this into let IDs equal vector 8. Unused variable IDs. Oh, is it not comparing those? Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, well, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure it's actually shut down. It would be nice to check the kind. Start equal. Packet stream IDs. A vector. It's gonna hate that. Yeah, because one's an iterator. Partially equal might be missing for, oh, iter use size on packets. Oh, that's neat. We could go implement that. That'd be something nice to have in there. How do you actually implement partial equal for an iterator? I don't think I've implemented partial equal at all. Oh, let's go have some fun. So here's our iterator. I think this is the same kind of iterator that we're returning here. Yes, we have iter there. Oh, can I just type partial equal on that? Oh, no, no, no. Interesting. So they have that already on some things. Get an optional slice iter. It already has that. What was the error again? Binary operation cannot be applied for type either packet T. Either option size iter. Oh, from one to the other, it can't tell them apart. So for comparing option slice iter to iter there. All right, simple. Where is partially equal? Let's look. Standard comp partially equal. Unnecessary qualification. All right, so in this case, what would the right-hand side be? Probably type T. We have ourselves, then we have, I guess for the left-hand side, let's call it other. Method equal has incompatible type for trait. Ah, I see. So this right-hand side needs that. Yep, that's not used yet. Right. So what does partial equal expect? Okay, for quality comparisons, which are partial equivalence relations. Quality must be for all A, B, and C, symmetric and transitive. Yes. Derivable. Okay, and I went partially equal. Okay. It only requires equal method to be implemented. Oh. I see. So really we need to iterate through these elements to see. All right. Well, they're both iterators. We should just be able to iterate through them and compare them. I wonder if there's a clever way to do that using combinators. let's go look. Go look at the standard iterator. Order and collect copied count. Bulls. Okay. Oh, I can't do this without recursion. Oh, okay. We are implementing that function. Got it. Got it. All right. Oh, that was funny. I'm guessing a number of these then are going to be built upon that. All right, let's just go through. We'll implement next for some of these. Well, not implement next, but we'll just use next. Probably in some sort of loop. So I'm sitting here wondering, best way to do this to just next over them until it's not the same yet. All right. So self dot next. I mean, we're really just going to be calling self dot inner dot next. Should be fine because either of those will have that. That'll probably just get compiled away. So first off, let's check the lengths. If self dot so in this case, we actually know. So in this case, we have the exact size operator, which means that we do know the size of the optional slice iter, but I'm not sure if the other one, so we supported a left and a right. Where does this one come from? That comes from vector. I think vector has that always. We should be able to do that. Okay. Yeah, this is unimplemented. All right. So if they do have the exact same length, we should be able to go through one by one, comparing each of the items, making sure that they are all equal. What was the other one? Loop, while, no, while let. Yeah, there we go. Because an iterator, if it doesn't have anything left, I think it just returns none. Yeah, it's an option. Okay, while let sum. And I'll borrow is mutable. Oh, that's a good question. How do you compare iterators without mutating them? Ooh, fancy. Because option slice iter that using a for loop? All right. So we should be able to use the array syntax on that. Let's see if we do let foo is equal to self 1. What do we get? What does standard slice iter have on it? Let's go look. We could do the as slice. All right, let's take a look and see if we can use that. Not, yeah, okay, that just borrows. Do I need a trait for that? What does ether have? As ref, fine. Is left, is right. This is more complicated than I thought it would be. Hmm. Let's see, we could isolate these. So the option slice iterator, it has partial equal on it. So it can be equal to self. What does partial equal even do for something like this? Okay, derive macro, here it is. Compiler built in. That's not fair. Ah, two different types, yes. Examples. Where's your iterator example? Actually, let's go to vectors. Okay, where is it? It's in iterator or iter, standard lib. Sure, slice iter, iterator, iterator from there. Iterator, does it have implementation of foreign types, implementers? Q for that. It's 150. Okay. Well, it doesn't have the source link there. Let's go to the top, click on that. Function EQ. EQ by. Huh. I mean, this is what we're trying to do, but I mean, it seems like it should be able to do this. Okay, let's go back to the code. Now, when we implement this equal here in our partial equal implementation doesn't consume self. When we do that on iterator, it does. Because it's the iterator that we're consuming. Oh, I see. So iter implements iterator. We just need to get an iterator off of either. Then we can consume it and ask it if it's equal to the other one. Okay, let's try that. Self.inner.iter. If you're equal to other.inner.iter. Oh, I thought iterator either had iterator support. It has iterator. Oh, it implements iterator. Into iter. Ooh, I don't think we want to call into iter. See, it has double-ended iterator, it has those. Yeah, let's go back to the code. So the way that we construct these is we typically create an iterator here. I have stream IDs. Trying to figure out how to implement some sort of comparison without consuming the iterator. That I'm wondering whether or not that actually matters. Here, it's possible to just very cheaply create a new iterator. Hey, Musean, good morning. And welcome, Raiders. Let's try that out. Self to enter. Let's try that. EQ other dot inner. Cannot move out of other dot inner, which is behind a shared reference. Oh, foo equals and other. Thank you. So if you remember using the iter struct that we had the other day, I tried to implement partial EQ for it. It's not an iterator. Oh, slice iter doesn't have partial equal. Oh, I thought I saw that. Let's see. Oh, I see, it doesn't. Well, if we take a step back, I can show you what we're trying to solve here. I was trying to solve the idea of comparing the stream IDs to some vector, some other iterator. Basically, I have these stream IDs. For the test, I want to be able to say, oh, are these stream IDs what I expect? Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. It doesn't know what type. Oh, but that is so funny. Yeah, that is like the type of experience that I get a compiler message that says, "Oh, this isn't implemented for it," and I go try to implement it instead of saying, "No, I'm just using it wrong. I should be collecting this iterator into something." 5209, good morning. All right. So in this case, collect, colon. What are these? This is use size probably. Any and all on the iterator as well. I see. Huh. Oh, comparing those poorly? That just seems weird. Oh, interesting. Does it also have a contains or includes? Let me check core. Alright. Iterator. Center core iterator. Alright. Oh, I lost the little browser window. Okay, there we go. That seems very verbose here, doesn't it? Select them into a vector, I see. So, any and all on the iterator. Yeah, and those look like they would take closures, which would just be even more. Maybe not. Not. Wow, that's pretty terse. Geodev, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think for correctness sake, this vector is actually the right thing. It's exactly that. Yeah. Okay. Is some, yes. True. Oh, this is good. Okay, so about this. Oh, I love these new eras. I no longer have to give it the backtrace information. I wonder if they'll do this, like if they'll continue to keep this, if they can detect that it came from something that already provided you with the line number information. I don't know. It's kind of nice. Unwrap first. You want to be fancy? Filter IDs, okay, unwrap, right? You can trace the path. Yeah, at this point, I think I'm just going to guess the path. I don't have very many of those. I just have these two. I'm guessing it got to this point here and it was none. Let's double check. I should tell it not to do the doc tests. Why did it not run the test at all? Character link dead. Oh, did I rename it? I did. Create account link dead. Oh, silly me. Closure. Account link dead. Closure. Online 147. Okay, yeah, it is that one. Interesting. I wonder what it got instead. That's strange. Did it tell me to like change channels first? Oh, it probably did. Yeah, channel change. Nice. Oh, and we used the new assert, the new matches. Where was that? Here. Oh, so that's the Rust core matches, which I think we'll use in this case too. Channel change, and in this case we're going basically do the same sort of comparison for those. Make sure it's to the right person. Change. We have 2 pieces of data on that. Outgoing packet. Channel change has the vector and then the channel ID. Okay. Underscore followed by maybe channel 1. Because. Okay, get rid of that. Oh, no variant or associated item named channel change. Change channel. Oh my goodness. And that message goes away. We still have a panic there. That's fine. We're building down to that. Building up to the panic. Yeah, I don't think there's... Oh yes, there's one more packet actually. There's a packet that tells Stream Multiplexer to change the channel for this guy, but then also a packet that goes out to the user basically saying everything went well. What is that? This is interesting doing these sort of integration tests. I could definitely see having some tools for checking specific elements inside of a message. Same thing for these. This is going to happen all the time. So building out some tools for these would be very nice. That's going to be callback success. Subject should be set. This should fail. Oops. That there should fail. Let's just call it status. Just guessing on that one. Let's see if that works. I'm still not using login. Yeah. How do I rename this? Create account link dead. Right, it's still panicking though. Oh, got a lot going on there. What am I working on today? It's an integration test. I would like to test link dead support. So I need to get somebody logged into the server, and currently I've built up to the point where let me kind of ASCII chart this out. Where normally in the server we have stream multiplexer, which is doing the TCP handling for us. That feeds data into the server, the game server, which is the game master, auth, etc. And that then uses a number of other crates, but a couple layers, and then down to Postgres. How do they GRE-SQL? That's how they capitalize it, isn't it? So we've gotten that. Right, that's kind of the normal architecture of the server. Now for the unit tests, we strip off this top piece because at that point there's just Tokyo MPSC channels. So we strip that off the top and we test the game server completely. And the Postgres SQL stuff, we create a new instance of the database per test. So it doesn't affect the other tests that are going on. We can run multiple game servers at the same time in parallel to do broad testing. And at this moment, I'm just trying to create a test that would test out link dead. It doesn't look like it's testing out link dead right now. It looks like it's just testing account creation, which quite frankly isn't a bad thing. Just might need to move the test. So I can actually see this sort of stuff getting pulled in to some sort of utility function, or doing this sort of like test creation or like server testing. And create an account, create a player, right? What do we call them? Sea lords or whatever. An actor, log into the game and do something, right? So currently it's just kind of exercising this new little piece here. Set up false. Man, you got eyes, Museum. You can see these things. You're like, that is bad code smell. And you're right. It's with logging. Do we want to set up logging for this? I just wanted to turn logging off very quickly, and I didn't want to create an extra type or some enumeration for that. But it really should be an enum. Oh, just remove the environment variable? Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. Disable no capture. Oh, interesting. So, that's what the boolean is. But yeah, that needs to be cleaned up as well. But so far, I think the next step is to kind of pull some of these elements out. This testing link dead here looks like it's just creating an account. So some shared modules here for doing account creation and all that kind of common stuff that's going to just be used for every one of these server integration tests. Oh, setup and setup with logging. Very true. I think, let's see, does this currently work? Probably not. Validate that OK was sent to the client, callback success, etc. Actually, I don't want this with backtrace on right now. Yeah, I'm really happy it's in there. So much easier. Assert matches. That seems like such an easy thing to add. I mean, I'm basically doing assert matches just by, like, it costs me a couple extra characters, but it seems like it should just be a thing. Alright, so where did this go? Change channel. Oh. Interesting. It failed the match. Change channel. Yeah, let's get this working. We're not too far in. Okay, there's the debug. 8 and 2. We went to channel 2. I should use my enums. Where are the enums? In messages? Messages. Incoming channel. Alright, let's use that instead. I think we found a bug. Messages. Incoming channel. Oh, come on. And see, incoming channel. There we go. Good. And what was that? That was incoming channel. It should be auth. Oh, as use size. Oh, you can do that as well. Oh, that's right. That's cool. Messages lib. Oh, I see. We serialize it. I don't have. As the n+1 args. I see. 2 plus for equal, 1 plus for assert. Is there a simple way to convert this, to make this available to, it says there was a derive, wasn't there? To derive this into a use size or something. Basically, I would just want to be able to say, oh, give me the number version of this. Transmute. Kind of want to look it up now. I have a couple different places where I go from number back and forth, and this seems cumbersome. But I know how to do it for this, like this way. It just means that eventually I would have this value in 2 different places. var as use, I should do it. Okay, let's try it. Oh, it has 4 fields. I was wondering that too. Outgoing packet. It should be an outgoing packet. It should be telling it that it's changing channel. If we look up above, where'd it go? Packet here. An outgoing packet. Change channel. Oh, I see. So it, I don't have an outgoing packet type in this. Outgoing packets only from here. Change channel. We'll lead on the first variable there. Auth. Let's use size. This pattern has 4 fields. The corresponding tuple variant has 2 fields. What's the matches macro? Oh, okay. I was surprised that I couldn't use kind of the vector in there before too. But it makes sense. You have to collect it in order to compare it. As partial equal. Oh. Outgoing packet doesn't have partial equal? Well, that could be my problem then. So will clone even work? Debug? No. If letter match, yeah. It's a new toy. I just wanted to play with it. Oh, you know what? Got a meeting in like 3 minutes. All right. I'm gonna leave that broken for now. But I should probably get going so I can prep for my meeting. But thank you for the raid today, Museum. Fun. And thank you for pulling me out of that dark alley of implementing partial EQ on that hitter. Like so. Oh, I see. Yeah. And just panic, yeah. That makes sense. All right, y'all. 71529, yes, you guys have a wonderful Monday. Hope everything goes well for you. We're gonna raid Lime Die. And again, thank you for the help and for the course correction. So, till next time, bye-bye.